Welcome back to the channel, everyone. My name is Stéphane and this is the French Cooking Academy, the place where you will learn to cook like a French chef. Now today we're going to be talking AOC, Appellation d'Origine Contrôlée, aka the label that you find on food, not on wine this time, we're talking about food. And this label guarantees a certain provenance and a certain quality for a product. And I wanted to see the difference between the standard stuff and the top of the range. So I finally went to Les Halles de Lyon by Paul Bocuse, which is the most prestigious indoor market in France and maybe in the world. And in these shops in there, which is beautiful, all the products that you have, they are all basically AOC, so all top of the range. The one I really want to get my hands on is the Bresse chicken, aka la poulard de Bresse. And as you can see, I brought it here along with some other AOC. Everything is top of the range, and we're gonna try to see the difference between this stuff because I've never cooked a poulard de Bresse, I've never tasted it, and it is meant to be amazing. So what is the big difference? Well, the first one I can say is that when you buy a Bresse chicken, you get this. This is an instruction manual for the chicken. I mean, an instruction manual for a chicken? Well, now look at this. Today it's a crazy day because there's a lot of amazing products. So here's the chicken. I'm going to unpack this, the Bresse chicken. And I even been given recipes, and we're going to do one of those, which is the plain, straightforward Bresse chicken in crème fraîche, AOC from the farm with chanterelle mushroom. And we're going to cook this with some homemade stock of fruits from this. And the wine we're going to be using is this, and from the Jura region. I've never come across that wine. It's called it's the Savagnin grape. And you know, white wines, when you look, if you look behind there, the definition, like what are the flavors, they're gonna say, oh, you got some pears aroma and vanilla and tropical fruits and things like this. Now this thing, let me tell you what it says. You go on there and it says, you will find aromas of walnuts and curry. What the hell is this? That's proved to be interesting. Now, as always, the first thing we would do is to prepare the chicken, but of course, again, we talk about AOC, and today the difference there is with the quality products. When you buy the product, it's already prepared, because not only the product you buy is top of the range, but the person that sells you the product is also kind of top of the range. You know, is the one owner of the shop has been qualified he's been awarded the best poultry tradesman in France. Also there's not only one, there's a few, but he's got the title. All right, so it is perfectly skilled and everything is cut on the carcass on one side. The legs have been evaluated, the typical blue color of the Bresse chicken, and all the parts. And look at that meat. I mean, look at that. Just the color and the fat there is. Look, this is the neck area. Look how much natural fat there is in the chicken. The neck is actually there. That's actually just natural fat. And if you were curious about what's in the little booklet, basically it tells you the range of products you can get. And the model of the day is the Bresse poulard. So it's all telling you about where it comes from. It's a female chick fed on corn, wheat cereals coming exclusively from Bresse, you know, fed with dairy product as well. Etc. It says how it lives and how it should kind of be prepared and things like that, and how it comes along. On the other side, it also tells you the authenticity labels. It's making sure to tell you you have the right stuff. This is like buying a diamond. You know, you got all the things. It says you need to have the label, you need to have the seal and everything, otherwise it's not a real one. And guess what? Look what I've got. I got the seal. They gave me all this stuff with it that says, yes, you've bought the real stuff, like I've bought a real precious stone. And now let's start that recipe. Now the first thing that's good with this very expensive chicken, if you want to know, that costs 50 euros for 1.7 kilos. So it's very expensive. You want to use everything. So the first thing I'm going to do is a stock. You rinse the carcass in cold water, and I'm going to just blanch it to get rid of the excess of fat and the impurities. So you bring this to the boil, and then we're going to stop it. As soon as the water boils, you turn the heat off, and we're going to rinse this in the cold water. Take all the chicken out in there, and don't worry, the poulard is very tough, so one rinse is no problem. As soon as you've rinsed the chicken, you clean your pan, you put the chicken back in with cold water, and again we're going to bring it to the boil to make that stock. When it comes to the garnish for the stock, it's very simple. A lot of people think that the chicken stock, the basic one, takes forever. It is the simplest thing. Look at this. I've got half a carrot, half an onion, a little bit of celery, like 1 tablespoon, and a bouquet garni. That's it. We're gonna put that in the water straight on. Okay, take all the garnish straight in. Bouquet garni as well. And that's it. If you want, you can add a few peppercorns, but no salt. And we're just gonna leave this to simmer for like, a good 30 or 40 minutes. And that's it. Then we have a basic stock we can use. Okay, so as soon as your stock is about ready, we can start cooking the chicken. Now I'm using here again an AOC butter. I don't know if you can see, which is the Eshire butter. Again, one of these top of the range things. So nice and hot for the pan. And skin first, we're gonna put that delicious chicken in. Ooh, I'm excited. Once our lovely chicken is in, we're gonna add some salt and pepper. And we're gonna wait until the meat colors a little bit. Look at that. Nice and lovely. So one thing I can say, quality chicken equal quality color. Okay, we're gonna reserve the breast and leave the legs to cook. Reduce the heat. So a nice little simmer, and I'm gonna leave this for a good 15 minutes. Okay, my legs are nicely colored, so I'm gonna take them out as well and remove the excess of fat. Okay, I've removed the excess of fat, and I'm gonna add 2 small glasses, it's about 300 ml of my special wine. Okay, it's nicely boiling. 3 or 4 minutes after, I'm putting the same amount of this lovely chicken stock I've made, and here same thing, I'm gonna bring it back to the boil. Now when the mix boil, you're gonna add some of the water juice that I use from dry mushrooms. So I'm using the chanterelles, so I've put some water in there, and this is the juice they were soaking in, the soaking juice, about 200 ml. Alright, it's boiling, so let me try that mix, because I'm actually curious. It's not at all what I thought it was gonna be. I thought it was gonna be some kind of sweet thing, but that wine I've put in, that special, it tastes like walnut a lot, but in the same time it's extremely dry. This is actually rather acidic. It's more on the acidic side, that sauce, than the sweet side. So that's interesting, because here we're really gonna rely just on the quality of the chicken and that cream. I mean, this is a crème fraîche AOC, so we're gonna put about, it's 300 to 400 milliliters. All right, let's mix that in. Now let's try that sauce, because I'm not totally convinced yet. Now let's see. Like some salt, because there was not too much seasoning, and the flavor is okay. The cream is very good, but I'm a bit skeptic. This recipe tends to rely really on the chicken itself, and apparently from here you need to cook the chicken on a simmer in that sauce. So I'm gonna start with 15 minutes or 20 minutes for the legs, because they're a bit tough, and then I'll add the breast in. 15 minutes are up, and I'm putting my breast back in. And these are barely cooked, so they're gonna take another good 10-15 minutes to cook, and hopefully bring some more flavor. After 45 minutes in total, I've removed the thighs and the legs, and now we're gonna finish the sauce. So we're gonna heavily reduce, so very high heat, and I'm gonna reduce this until it's got that napping consistency again. As a last step for the sauce, what I'm gonna add in is these chanterelle mushrooms that I've got, so like a good handful. And I'm gonna leave these to cook for another like 5 minutes max, and it should be ready. Now while the sauce is reducing, I'm trying to keep my chicken warm, and I need to try that meat before I plate, because I'm not gonna disturb the plate. So that's it here. That's the color of the meat. As you can see, it's actually very, very clean. Look how it's cooked. It's nicely cooked. And now, the big taste. Let's see how it tastes like. So, what can I say about the breast chicken? It's hard to describe. Does it taste like chicken? Yes, it still tastes like chicken. Does it taste differently than the standard chicken? Yes, in the way that I think it's a bit more, I would not say gamey, but a bit more meaty, but on that kind of edge, you know, when things start to be a bit stronger in taste, you know, it's because it's been living outside, you can feel that kind of wildness into the chicken. And I think it's more firm, it's meaty, it's really interesting. But I thought that I would be totally blown away by a taste that, you know, that I would never know, whatever. But at the end of the day, what I can say is that even a great chicken, like the top quality, tastes beautiful, but it still tastes like, you know, like chicken. It's not like something out of this world. And now for the plating. So I went ahead and I'm serving this with a simple set of pommes persillées, which are boiled potatoes, that are tossed in good quality butter with chopped parsley. Pommes persillées, here they are. And of course I've reserved my breast of the breast chicken to go with this. And I'm just gonna try to keep it very simple. So I've got some onion that I've cooked actually before in the stock. I'm gonna add a little bit of sauce on my breast chicken. So this is the sauce. And surprisingly, I've just tasted the sauce. I was thinking of something very sweet, but that wine makes for something actually a little bit more acidic. So it's a more special sauce with a more acidic type of edge to it, which is really interesting and something I'm really not used to. So these are some of the chanterelles that I have, so just here and there, just to see the presentation there. And that completes the video of the week, guys, the comparison between the standard product and the AOC. So here the breast chicken, just to wrap up, keep in mind that it's still a chicken and it's got this extra layering of flavor. It's meatier, it's more flavorsome, it's got some more gamey, and it's kind of nice and firm. It's also responsibly sourced and grown, and there's no barbaric practice, which is also a great thing. But if you have the chance to try a breast chicken, if you know another recipe maybe I can try, let me know in the comments below. As always, you can follow me on Instagram, and if you want to become a patron on my Patreon page, that would be plain amazing. But that's it for me. I see you all next week for another recipe from Lyon. Take care all. Bye bye.